Welcome to the FDU Bowling NCAA Championship 10-year reunion special. I'm Jason Young, Associate Athletic Director at FDU, and your host for the show as we relive a tremendous athletic achievement in FDU history. I'm joined by a very special group of people, beginning with our student athletes from that 2010 team. And just in alphabetical order, we have Jolie Carrillo, Tracy Ganjoin, Sara Litteral, Danielle McEwan, and Erica Perez. Also with us is FDU alum, a national champion as a student athlete in 2006, and then as an assistant coach in 2010, Lisa Meadows. Hey, Lisa. And finally, the head coach who has led our Knights to 2 national championships, Mike LoPresti. So without further ado, thank you for taking the time to look back and celebrate what was a monumental achievement for you guys and the entire school at FDU to win that second national championship. Let's open this up and we can go around the room. Starting with Erica, what was the moment you remember most about that national championship match?
Actually, our team involvement. We were just so excited to be where we knew we should be at that point. We had felt all year long that we were going to make it, we were going to do it, and we just kind of were a team at that point. And the fire that we all had, like I could look at all these pictures and be like, I remember the spark each one of us had at that point in that match, and every point of the match. Like, never did that leave. We were there and excited and happy to be there.
Well, I would have to say it was definitely Game 7, coming down to the wire. We're bowling against a team that won the previous year, so that was at stake. And, we all pulled through and pulled together. That was definitely the most memorable moment, I think, for me.
I mean, at that point, the chemistry that we had with the team was kind of like whoever was in there and bowling at the time, you believed in, and it was really like one unit. Something that I hadn't experienced before that. So, it was he gave the call and he said, hey, you're in. And I said, okay, I'm just going to do my best. That's all you could really do in the moment.
It was definitely really cool that we got to compete in our home state. I remember having all of our parents and our family and friends there. I remember our trainer, Kyle, was there, and you saying that reminds me at the end when after we won, we all pointed up into the stands at him, and that's probably one of my favorite moments of the whole thing.
I just remember the weirdest feeling was because you would think we would be super nervous with it being, the finals, and I just remember me and everyone feeling kind of confident, and we weren't really as nervous, I didn't feel like, because we had put in so much work that year. Kyle being one of the biggest works that we put in the gym.
For me, it was just great to see all of their hard work pay off. For Erica, 4 years, Danielle 1, but everyone put in so much time and effort for all the years that they were there, and it's just nice to be able to have them see the validity of hard work really does pay off, because they spent a lot of time and effort between the workouts with Kyle and all the practices and all the travel that we were doing back then. It was nice to see all their hard work pay off for them.
Same with me. We worked so hard and prepared so much, and then the injection of a new strength coach really made the difference. And to see it all come together, that's what I remember the most. Is how like everything just clicked.
What was so special about the program that led you to come to the Banks on the Hackensack, if you will, and lead the Knights to a national championship? Any one of you can go first.
It's more about the full package rather than just bowling. Strong focus on academics as well. So I liked that it was a well-rounded program, as opposed to just going to bowl for a team.
The idea of being close to my family was huge for me. And definitely just the well-roundedness of it. I mean, I went and I got an education as well as competed on a national team. Like, there's not many people that can put those two things in the same sentence.
Well, I definitely had to, I have great time management skills now because being in the nursing program was pretty difficult with all the traveling and the practicing, and I had to do clinicals, and I had to adjust my schedule appropriately. So as far as time management went, That's something I definitely learned in college, and it continued throughout my career as a nurse.
You know, the girls on this screen taught me how to be a teammate. They taught me about team roles, and the coaches in the program taught me time management and to be an athlete. You know, before that time, I was never treated bowling as though I was an athlete, and that changed my whole perspective and definitely got me to the point where I am today.
Before we get to the match, I kind of want to set the stage for our viewers who haven't been able to watch. You're going up against Nebraska, the defending national champions, but a team that you beat in the opening round of the tournament. So we got big stage, nationally televised on ESPNU. What was kind of the mindset of the team heading into that match?
We were really confident going in. We were ready. We were prepared. We were in our home state, home crowd, and, that really gave us that big boost and that confidence that we needed.
Can you talk a little bit about the whole chemistry, and was there this attitude and sense that you could win a national championship when the season started back in, September, October?
When the season started, I can't say that we were as confident that, we were just going to walk through the season and walk away with the trophy at the end of the year. It was a really hard season, especially being a freshman. I had nothing to compare it to. I didn't really know what to expect. And it was really challenging. I mean, coach demanded the world out of us. Kyle demanded the world out of us every single day. And the players demanded the world out of each other. So everything that we did all season just kind of led up to us being able to walk away winning at the end.
You trust that you've put in all the hard work before that you have the confidence when you're under the lights that it is no different. If you give everything that you have in practices and in workouts, once the competition comes, you just enjoy it.
In game one, you guys got off to a fantastic start. And Tracy, I kind of want to ask you as the leadoff bowler, how were you able to block out some of the distractions around you to really get that game off to a good start with a strike? And, there's 1,200 people in attendance. It was the third most attended NCAA championship in history. Take us through those times and how you were able to block out kind of the distraction.
Well, interestingly enough, even being under the lights and being under that environment, is vastly different from anything that we were used to. It was actually very slow and methodical. We had to wait our turn. We had to, wait for commercial breaks. And we were, as a team, very used to playing slow and methodical. I think that really played to our favor to really take our time and just remain calm. And it was very quiet. So I think that really worked to our advantage.
Great. So we win game one. FDU jumps out to a quick start. Games 2 and 3 don't go so well, right? And Nebraska kind of stole the momentum back in the last frame of game 2. Heading into a must-win game 4 situation, how did the team rally together before heading into that game? If you remember, Sara, Jolie, was there anything that you kind of recall where it was like, yeah, we're going to band together and do this?
Well, I really just remember being so confident because we had prepared so much that year that it really never was a thought, at least in my mind, and I didn't sense it from them that we had to had to win or we really had to do anything different from what we had been doing.
I remember being oddly calm throughout the entire telecast. Like, you're under these lights and you're in a stressful situation, a situation you've never been in before. But for some reason, I feel like, as a group, we were so calm throughout the entire show. Like, nothing they did really shook us. And if we would get a bad break, it was no problem. Like, we'll figure it out. It was just really, we were in the moment the entire time. And I think that's what helped us. Like, we never got ahead of ourselves and we never let, a good break on the other side shake us either. So I just felt really strong throughout the entire telecast as a team.
You end up winning game 4. Game 5 goes to Nebraska. Now we're in must-win situations, down 3-2. I guess, one of the things I was wondering, and I'm watching the tape, and you can't really tell how influential the crowd was on you guys. But, you're in that moment, game 6. Could you feel the momentum slide to you as soon as you heard the crowd noise and all the FDU fans, or?
I think so. I think that you had them all year. Like you got used to hearing certain parents, you got used to hearing certain phrases and things. You know, it was always a supportive group. And then to only have that continuously get louder and louder and louder. And it wasn't louder like a distraction louder. It was just like the confidence and the support, like little shoulder guy, hey, you're going to do this and you're going to figure it out. Like those were the times, and you just got comfortable with it. You know, we had all of our families there round the clock, but you know, that day, I think a lot of parents and family members lost their voices. It definitely had a nice loud experience for us.
Let's roll some tape. We'll start
boy.
with the 6th frame of game 6.
And she does. How about that?
I definitely remember Tracy letting go of that ball and being
Definitely
like,
not one of her better shots.
Sarah, I saw your facial reaction during your last roll.
Motivated.
What's it like watching yourself back 10 years ago bowling in this environment?
You talking to me? Oh, Sarah.
Is it me?
And she is.
Sarah, I was asking you, but Jolie will watch your fist pump here.
Oh my goodness.
Stepping up.
We get
You
about
don't know
3 more Jolie fist pumps, though, so we'll go back
Yeah.
to that point.
So funny.
Go ahead, Sarah. That's all you.
Come on,
No,
Jolie.
I mean, it's
You're
crazy
19 years
because,
old
you know,
there, Jolie.
now I
Oh,
have
my.
2 kids, so I don't get to
Setting
bowl.
up
I miss it.
Fairleigh Dickinson for the foundation frame in the ninth. Look at this.
Here he goes.
She told
Well,
that
she knew
ball
it
what
well
to
after-
do.
Won't be happy with that.
That was big for me to be like, all right, we're going to game 7 now. Like,
Yeah.
this is it.
Carolyn, as we see this last ball, at what age do you recommend?
Yeah, I feel like that
women start
them
bowling
not
to
bowling
get
as
eventually
as well on that lane
Does it
gave
take-
us some time
That's
to
a
mentally
perfect question
prepare
to
for
ask
game
me so I can
7.
sneak my daughter's name
And not
out.
that we were like,
Actually,
we
my
didn't want to
daughter
get
was
ahead
a
of ourselves, but
6-year-old.
like, okay,
She's been
there
bowling
wasn't
since
as
she
much
was 3.
pressure in that
I took
moment.
her
You
to the
could
lane
kind of
and
like take a
taught
breath.
her how to
Okay,
roll it
reset again.
from the
I don't know
foul
how many
line,
times we
2
said
hands, but I
reset
taught her
during
the
that
proper way.
match, but
Great
I feel like that
skill,
really did help
great
us.
skill.
Mhm.
Danielle, you're about to
Did
bowl
not
here.
use
Did you
bumpers,
feel that?
so she learned to use the middle part of the lane.
Again,
So
we
it's
were just
really
so in the
never
moment. I was
too
just
young
focused on
to
the
start.
task at hand, which was
Yes,
the
Dell
next
and I are
frame. And
both
I
bowlers, so
don't
of course
remember
that's why
watching
we
what
took her to
Nebraska
the
really
bowling
was
center.
doing
But
the whole
there
time.
is
Like, as
so
Coach
many
said, he was
skills
watching their lane play and
scholarship
communicating it to us.
opportunities at
So
all
I had no
levels of
need to even
bowling,
look in their
junior
direction. It
meets
was just
high
about us.
school and collegiate. It's something that everyone should take advantage of.
McEwan gets the strike, and Fairleigh Dickinson looking more and more like this will head to a deciding game for this national championship. We saw the graphic a moment ago. Fairleigh Dickinson on the opening day lane choice for game
So
7.
Mike and Lisa, now what's
So
going
while
on?
the
You're
season
going.
goes through the formalities here to end
You're
this
watching
game
Erica
6,
here
what does
finish
that
out
mean
the
in
10th
I
frame.
would think right now
You
the
know you got a
coaches
game
are
7,
getting together to see
but you're going to a lane that hadn't
where
been as kind to you.
which lane has played
Nebraska's getting the
favorably
favorable
to their
lane.
team.
What's kind of going through your
Did they
mind?
strike more on one lane? Did they hit the pocket more?
Well,
Because the
for
assistant
me,
coaches aren't just
Bill's
standing
going to
around
have to
looking
come
at
to
it.
me and
They're
make a
they're
choice,
working it. I
during the
mean, they're
commercial
writing
break.
down
So I
how
remember
many
making a
strikes, how
joke
many
with him. I'm
spares,
just
who hit
like,
the
Mike, we're
pocket,
going to
who didn't.
switch.
So
So I'm like, you
that's
sure?
information
Matter, you
right
don't like
now
that
for
right
the
lane?
second
And he
game.
goes,
And
are you
Paul
kidding?
Klemka
He goes,
has been with
no, we're going to the
Nebraska
left lane.
forever.
So then
Great guy,
he
great
obviously
assistant
totally
coach.
missed the joke. But what
And
that told me
they work
was he
hard
was
at
feeling it.
keeping the stats
He was feeling
So
that
we
they're
will
in
go
trouble.
to a doesn't change.
You know, his Tracy with a new piece of equipment here, flush.
and a ball change.
I was very
No.
happy
She changed
that ball
balls
worked.
when they flipped to the
Scary, you know, like I was using that other ball the entire tournament, and but I'm like, I need to make a serious move here. It's not going to work. And I just,
Perfect.
you know, we had so much trust in the team and the coaches. We just talked about it and did it.
Sarah, in the championship match, 7 games, how many opens did you have?
0, but only 3 strikes.
4
I
strikes,
started
but
off
who's
pretty
counting?
strong,
Yeah,
and
you're
then
right.
it just went downhill.
You filled them all.
So important.
Go frames.
Particularly in the 2-hole. You see, Sara doesn't get a lot of credit because Tracy being lefty, the whole concept of Tracy going leadoff was it gave us the righties, the 4 righties, more time to discuss what we were going to do on the new lane, while Tracy was going. And, then Sara became like the guinea pig. Sara would throw the shot, and we would determine based on Sara's shot, her execution, if we were right in the adjustment we made, or do we have to continue to move or move more or move less, whatever. So, and then, the goal was by the time it got down to EP, we knew exactly what we needed to do.
We're watching Sara's response when she came back. She's like, yep, all right, I'll do this. All the time. All right, no problem.
All right. Yeah, I just remember trying to focus on throwing a good shot so that we could all get a read on it.
Well, that's the thing you always did. Like, I was so confident throwing my shots because I was like, well, Sara doesn't really miss. So if this is wrong, then the next move has to be closer. So
Right. Very consistent player. Yep.
Yeah.
Solely, I think your energy was contagious, and you kind of brought that. Do you think this moment helped kind of propel you as you would go on to make NCAA All-Tournament team in 2012?
I mean, honestly, I had never experienced anything like that before, but I will say that I'm competitive in almost everything that I do. And there have been plenty of fights with my husband, my brother, and my brother about everything. And I just wanted to win. And I remember, like, during that match, coach would tell me, you have to go sit down because you need to, like, take it from a 10 to a 2, stay in, like, a mellow state so that you can perform. And then I would tell myself before the shot, like, okay, you're just going to remain calm, celebrate a little bit, but don't go crazy. I couldn't hold myself back. There was just no doing that in that moment. But I will say that moment made me hungrier to win as much as possible throughout the rest of my time there at FDU.
And Danielle, you would go on to win the most outstanding player from the tournament. You just watched your shot in the 4th frame. You're obviously in a rhythm. Do you think the team kind of relied on you to put up those strikes consistently, regardless of anything going around?
I think that was kind of the expectation for all of us when we stepped on the approach. As he just explained the dynamics, as Tracy being on the left side, Sara got the read, and then we just communicated down the line, and we knew if we had it that the next player up was going to step up and make a really good shot. We just needed all the pins to fall.
This shot upcoming is a pretty critical shot here.
This one sent shivers down my spine. This is when I knew.
So Cassie wanted to switch balls, and Bill wouldn't let her. And, that is another indication how they were feeling it. They were feeling the pressure. They never, they weren't used to facing a team that didn't miss, that didn't, that they would intimidate every team they played and force them to, unforced errors. And we didn't give them that.
I'm almost like smiling at that point because I was like, I just have to be calm. There's no panicking is going to do me no good.
I think the whole situation showed how mentally tough everybody was too, because I don't think people realize how long those matches really are, especially when it's on TV for the national championship. I mean, we bowled 7 games, so that was everybody bowling 14 frames. If you ask everyone how long it takes them to bowl 14 frames normally, if anyone says more than a half an hour, it's crazy. And this match was over 2 hours. So think about trying to stay, focused in, task at hand, staying in the moment for well over 2 hours. It's not easy. And I think this game showed how much more mentally tough we were, compared to them, with, Cassie having the little issue in the 5th frame, kind of arguing with Bill. And then the team kind of really getting distracted by that moment where, we had our own, issues throughout that match, but we just stayed so focused, and it was always about the next task, not about what happened in the past. So I think that, this game specifically really showed how mentally tough this group was.
And this is the shot, my favorite shot for Sara the whole time, because Sara was the one who always had the stone face. She was always able to control and not facial expressions, not show any of her emotions. And then that was like with that 10 pin, which is a routine spare for her. You know, she was feeling the nerves, and
that was the first time and only time I honestly like kind of felt a little pressured.
Yeah.
The whole match.
Routine spare. That's a term I haven't heard in a long time. Wow.
I know, right? What's a routine spare at this point?
How about abort?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Abort.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you could see here, like, that's another example, right? She puts it shorter. She's on the side of it, and now they can't control the ball in the back end because they didn't move. You know, we just shot 230 on that lane. You know, and they're struggling a little bit. They're really feeling it. And that's the only kind of defense we can apply to them, right? It's, you know, we can't is just try to, you know, make them feel the pressure.
I remember rewatching this show back and like really noticing you could see all the emotion on Nebraska's face, and us it almost was like, okay, we're just doing our thing, like nothing affected us. I think because we had so much trust in each other, like no matter what, at least for me, I didn't feel too much pressure because I was like, no matter what I do, someone else has got my back.
I think ESPN knew if this pump was coming here.
This shot.
What a great shot. Right. 10 down, 5 on the deck.
How many times do people bring up the national championship with you guys? Or how many times does it just come up in your world that you're in?
Not as much now because it's been so long, but it used to be pretty often.
Yeah. It's always a fun fact to tell, you know.
Yeah.
I find it very interesting.
That's my interview fact.
Yeah.
Get me a job.
That's
right.
And I always use I met the president.
It is wonderful to see you. Welcome to the White House. I want to thank all the teams that have traveled from all over the country to be here. And congratulations on being NCAA champions. We've got over 650 athletes and almost 150 coaches and staff here today. This is the most athletic talent we've ever had on the South Lawn. We've got the Fairleigh Dickinson bowling team here. I need some tips, guys. You might be able to tell me how to get my score up.
You know, and then the kids who didn't play, right? Let's talk about that. Like, boy, were they into it. They were into it as if they were bowling. They knew how important their role was in that match. And you could see how totally intense that whole group was, you know. It was, you know, I think that's another thing that, you know, you guys felt calm. It's because they were there too. Always behind you, had your back. You think, or what?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Absolutely.
And wasn't he bowling really good during the qualifying?
Yeah.
She's the reason we got there.
She was doing really good.
Yeah, in that first match we played in Nebraska, 12 frames, 10 strikes.
Wow.
Yeah. So she owned that match.
Erica, what's it like just standing there waiting to throw this last one down the lanes?
So excited. I just wanted to bowl.
Yeah, there it is.
There's Tracy.
Like, I felt I wanted them to do their, you know, and have their senior bowl and all those things. They're so exciting. I'm like, I just want to bowl and get out of here and
picks up the spare.
Celebrate with my team.
And now the formality. Fairleigh Dickinson's anchor, Erica Perez, a 4-time All-American.
As soon as that ball left her hand, that's when I was like, oh my God.
I remember being like, oh. Look at Tracy, though. Look at Tracy.
Hysterical.
Oh, I cried.
I really hated the close up, you know? I just.
Why? See, to me, that's what it's all about. That's when you realize that all the hard work you did was worth it.
Yeah,
You
for
know,
sure.
only one team gets to feel that a year, and that year was us.
Yeah.
Bowling it out for the new national champion.
I actually had to do a writing piece about
So
working
Nebraska
hard,
has been
and,
dethroned
I
here
actually
in New
had
Jersey,
chosen parts of it,
denied its
and
fourth
most of
national title.
I'm like, okay, guys. First of all, I'm not that old. Second of all,
It's fairly
something that's pretty impressive that
the
not a lot of people get to do.
2010
My students impressed by it.
NCAA Bowling Champion.
It's hard work,
I'm like crying over here, by the way.
Me too.
Oh my goodness.
You know, it brings me right back to that moment.
Man.
The moments that we'll never forget,
Yeah.
that families will never forget. It's really special.
Championship in history.
Jolie, you're pretty emotional as well right now. What's
Well,
going
I'm always emotional, okay?
Always.
But no, I actually remember like after we were done and we got the trophy and everything. I remember distinctly like looking up at our whole crowd. There was family and friends there and everyone had signs and I was like it was like a pinch me moment. Like everything that we worked for, like all the tears, all the fights that we used to have, everything was worth it in that moment. And the people that were close to us and were dealing with it with us, the people that we would talk to about the team and about what was going on were there too to experience it. That was really, really cool.
Well, before we sign off, I'll give everyone one last word just about the moment, coming back together and what it means to you in your life. Danielle, you're on the right side of my screen, so I'll start with you.
It was so cool to go back and rewatch it and to relive it. It was such a tremendous part in all of our lives and in particular in my career. It was the first real big thing that I ever won. And, as Jolie said before, it just made me so much hungrier to just do it every time. And every time I stepped on the lanes after that for the next 3 years, I just wanted to win every match as though it was the national championship.
It actually makes me a little sad because I feel really old. It's older than me, I know, but it is such a heartwarming family feel that we really worked hard on. And these girls and girls that are all on that show, I mean, you asked them to do anything and we would do it. Weddings and families and babies that are coming and having and who's on tour and who's doing what. Like, as much as we don't get together as much as we want to, we created a family with this bunch. And, you could text and pick up a phone and a Facebooker and, hey, what are they up to? It's just that family dynamic is so hard to create. And we worked really hard on it. So to finish my 4 years at a bare minimum with that moment, there's nothing I could ever change. I always say my college years were the best years, and my poor husband doesn't know what that's like because he wasn't around for them. And I always tell him, yeah, they were the best ones. And he's like, we're married now. We should. I'm like, yeah, now. But those years were the best years of my life, and I loved every minute of it. No, were they easy? Of course not. But that's what made us the way we were. And I really, this was our family. Every breath, every sigh, every cry, every laughter, inside jokes to bowling, and you just had it all. It really made a big difference, and it's heartwarming. It really is. And to look back 10 years later, I still can't believe it was 10 years ago. I just can't.
Yeah, I mean, I second what Erica said. It's really about the special memories we all created. From everything, from obviously winning and sharing that memory to, traveling and all the funny stories. We really made some lifelong friendships. And, along with that was, the memories of our fan club, our parents, and all the happy times and how much fun they had too, together in the stands is super heartwarming. And, I'd say also just, it prepared me for life. Knowing that you have a system and you pay attention to details and you work very hard at them, that really instilled the work ethic for the rest of my life. So, I'm grateful and really thankful for that.
Man, I can't ever talk after Tracy talks.
I can't talk after any of you.
I completely agree with what everyone said. I mean, those 4 years when, you're getting out of high school and you're starting adulthood, for me to have this group of people, dang it, I said I wasn't going to do it. This group of people is always, always gonna, when I look back on those times in college when you're just starting your life and, you're super excited about everything, I'm really, really thankful that I got to experience it with them. And like Tracy said, it was hugely impactful on how I live my daily life now. Like, I know that whatever struggles I'm going through, if I, work hard and keep at it, perseverance is a real thing. And really, it's just the sky's the limit. Like, we were just girls from different parts of the country with the same goal of maybe becoming a national champion one day. And we were able to do that together. And at the same time, create a family and a support group between all of our families too. So I will forever be grateful and thankful. And I love you guys.
For me, it wasn't, oh God. Oh God. It wasn't just bowling. I mean, bowling obviously was a huge part of it, but for me, I met people that are still a part of my life now. And if it wasn't for FDU and coach and everybody, I wouldn't even be the person, that I am today. Nurse practitioner now, everything. So it wasn't just the bowling. It's everything that FDU, gave me. So I'm beyond grateful for everything.
Well, I can't thank you all enough for your time and to share your memories, open your hearts. Championships keep people together. They bring people back, and it's one of the great things about sports. So Mike, Lisa, Danielle, Erica, Tracy, Jolie, and Sarah, thank you so much for reliving one of the great athletic achievements in FDU history.